Assalamu alaikum dear faculty, this is group 10 from section 7. To begin our group presentation, we would like to show some video clips of our project building on Weavers. Assalamu alaikum sir, this is Rishikesh from group 10 of section 7. I am going to explain how we have designed the basic physical parts of the robot. Here we'll use rectangular shape as robot body and there will be 4 wheels attached with it. First of all, to create the robot, we have added a robot node from base nodes option. After selecting this node, we have determined the shape by adding shape component in the children part. And to do that, we have added a shape component where we have chosen PBR appearance as it would help us to determine the properties. Also, we have used green as base color for our robot's basic body shape. Then we have selected the rectangular shape by going to geometry, base nodes and selected box. Now to add a wheel, we had to add hinge joint which enables it to rotate. Then we have selected hinge joint parameters as joint parameters. After that, we have selected rotational motor from base nodes of device. Then in the endpoint null, we used a solid and it was a endpoint solid. Then we have added a wheel shape by going to children. Here we selected black as base color of the wheel. Then by going to geometry, we have selected cylinder as shape. Similarly, we have added rest of the wheels. Now I am giving the floor to Juhayer for explaining rest of the task. Thank you.
Thank you, Rishikesh. After the initial setup of the robot, in the second part, we have designed distance sensor, camera, and GPS. Starting with the sensor. From the children part section, we have added a distance sensor. At the same time, the shape is determined and PBR appearance is also given. For the shape of distance sensor, we have used box shape and we have used cyan color. The distance sensor is placed in the front part of the robot as if it works like eyes. For that, we have done necessary calculation by changing translation, rotation, and scale values. The two distance sensors are named distance sensor right and left respectively. To make sure that the distance sensor works properly, we have used two distance rays. Secondly, we have implemented camera. An initial process of implementation is almost same except the values of translation, rotation and scale, and it is almost like the previous one. We have used sphere shape here. The camera also placed in the front, but it is a little bit higher position than the sensor. Finally, GPS. GPS integration is done. The basic purpose of GPS is to keep track of the robot, and from GPS, we will have the global coordinate values, which will give the information about the position of the robot. Here we can see GPS integration is done and it is in the middle of the body of robot and cylindrical in shape, and we have used blue color, and the building process follows the previous rules. Now my fellow mate Abdullah Al Muktadir will describe the rest.
Thank you, Juhayer. Now, Assalamu alaikum. I am Abdullah Al Muktadir. Now, you can see that here is our robot and here is our C++ code. We have implemented some libraries here, the distance sensor library, motor library, robot library, and camera library. Here you can see the time step is 64, which actually means that every 64 milliseconds, the camera will return an image, and also the camera will refresh and update. Uh, After that, we have added distance sensor right and distance sensor left as DS right and DS left. If we want to change the distance sensor name, then we have to change in the project file also. Then the distance sensor work as uh, if the robot find an object at his right, it will turn left. On the other hand, if the robot find an object at his left, the it will turn right. Then we have added 4 wheels: wheel 1, wheel 2, wheel 3, and wheel 4. We can also change the velocity of this robot. Then lastly, we have add object recognition by using camera. Here, by using camera, we can see the frame of an object, and we can see the details by of this object. Thank you so much.